Hello, we're just a couple of middle-class Brits who aren't especially young and not particularly old, and we're not first-time buyers either. Apparently we're supposed to have something special or unique about us to do this whole social media thing, but all I can think of is the dog. But this is our first fixer-upper, and right now we're just doing little jobs here and there while we save for the big sewer move TM. This is small job number 2. It's a chair I found on Facebook Marketplace for £19. Well, actually 20, but the seller never gave me the £1 change and I was too polite to demand it. Not that I'm bitter. The cool thing about it is it's in the manner of William Morris, you know, the guy who designed all these fabrics and stuff. There was a very fashionable chair made by his company towards the end of the 19th century. Although it was designed by Philip Webb and was called the Sussex chair, it was ebonized, i.e. varnished black, and a bit like the earlier aesthetic movement, but because they teamed up to do it, suddenly it became arts and crafts. Don't ask me why. Originals sell for thousands, so £20 for a wormy contemporary wasn't too bad. Anyway, the chair rushes were in okay condition, but the rest was pretty battered and it had suffered a bad bout of woodworm. Some of the infection looked old, but I made sure to treat it anyway. After that, I spent a considerable amount of time filling in the holes in the bits that had been chewed away. I used this 2-part epoxy filler, which I do not recommend using on a hot day in the sun on the patio, as it will set before you sneeze. I'm sure it's fine on cooler, more typically British weather days, however. After that, I gave everything a good sand. The original finish had an old wax coating that had scaled and was peeling, so that was removed as best I could, and then I gave the whole thing a really good wash. At this point it received its second treatment for woodworm, dried, and it was time for some new varnish. I went with a more modern polyurethane based finish as it's easy and it looks fairly similar to the original. One can add more gloss with a lack of finish if one should wish. And here's the finished thing at my recently refurbished sewing table of the same era. Follow along if you like this kind of thing. For now, I'll leave you with some parting shots of this refurbished William Morris-esque chair. And now I need to fill over the top and do some kind of talking whilst you look at the pictures. Fill. This was a chair that was not very good and now it's nice. God, I really need some inspiration here. Oh yeah, I could talk about products, couldn't I? Well, one of them was the Ron Seal satin finish in ebony varnish, and the other one was... No, wait, it was Rustin's. Oh God.